So my name is Audrey Mayr. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at E=MC² Events. It's a small company, so you get to choose a large title. E=MC² Events was founded in 2001 in Calgary by Jocelyn Flanagan. She's quite the name around town, and she has set the precedent for the event industry, and I'm very proud to work for her and the company. It's an award-winning company. It has a proven track record for international, has been awarded with international awards. We deliver world-class events and conference services to corporate, non-for-profit, and social organizations. Event management, as glamorous and glitzy as Linda has alluded to with the Toronto Film Festival and many other events, is really at the end of the day about project management. It's a lot of administration, it's a lot of paperwork, it's a lot of details. All our event services are contracted, so we are the project manager that has to bring this all together, the right suppliers, the right services to make the magic of the event happen. I oversee the business operations. I'm not one of the crazy event people. I look after the areas of accounting, human resources, health and safety, and office administration, all the exciting stuff. So how did I what was my path to get to this role? My illustrious career began in the hospitality industry, began in a very small hotel in rural Alberta in the housekeeping department. I quickly took on shifts in banquets, and then the coffee shop, and then the front desk, and I was just amazed and fascinated by the inner workings and the operations of the hotel, of what it required to bring all the services together to meet the guest needs. I then enrolled in hotel and restaurant administration in SAIT to get the formal education to pursue my now chosen career. And as part of the program, we had to do a summer internship. And Calgary in the summer is certainly very busy in the hospitality industry, but it's the resorts in our mountains very close by that have a dramatic need for people to work. So I took a position at Jasper Park Lodge, at that time Canadian Pacific, now Fairmont Hotels, at Jasper Park Lodge as front desk agent. And it was a great experience, and I was able to, just living in a resort life in beautiful Jasper National Park was certainly a great experience. So I went back to school, and after 2 years of hard work, I graduated with honors, and also as part of that I'd already worked with Canadian Pacific, I was approached by Canadian Pacific to be part of their career development program. So that was very flattering, and I did apply and was accepted and was offered a position of golf course manager at Jasper Park Lodge. And it was quite an accomplishment to get a managerial position straight out of college. A lot of people went back right out to their serving positions and entry-level positions they had perhaps been working in the city because there wasn't the same amount of opportunity. So when Siobhan has spoken about lucky opportunities or lucky moments and taking advantage of opportunities, it wasn't so much luck, it was some hard work to get my name out there in front of CP, but it was also the fact that I was willing to move and take that opportunity because it was definitely you had better advantages and was an easier path to move up in a more rapid fashion. So I spent 7 great years at Jasper Park Lodge, and I was fortunate enough to work in all the food and beverage positions. I was a clubhouse manager for the summer, then I was room service manager for 446 rooms, and at that time they did a lot of service by bicycle to the cabins. So that is a fun and health and safety risk. I was the maitre d' for a 500-seat dining room, and I handled the dining reservations for 1,000 guests nightly as well at one time. Now these positions gave me valuable experience in planning, in logistics, in the staff scheduling, room setups, food and beverage ordering, and dining reservation management. In 1996, I accepted a position as banquet supervisor at the Fairmont Palliser, and I moved to Calgary. At the Fairmont Palliser, at that time in particular, the banquet department was extremely busy. The meeting rooms were booked to capacity throughout the day and into the evening for multiple groups and different types of functions. As well as overseeing the banquet service in the rooms, 2 of the major responsibilities of the banquet supervisor was the logistical planning of the staff schedule and the function room changeovers. Often, there wasn't a lot of time between, there's a short amount of time to change the setup of the room from perhaps a meeting during the day into a dinner dance for the evening. So this required some creative planning. Could the audio-visual requirements be installed in the room the night before and discreetly be stored throughout the day? Could tables be preset and carried in? Could table settings be rolled into napkins for faster place setting? Was an overnight shift required? Did we need to change the staff start times while still following union rules? Could shifts be overlapped to increase the number of staff available for the room flip without incurring excessive labor costs? These are all things that I truly loved figuring out. It was just something that just gives me great satisfaction to figure out the details for a seamlessly executable plan. After 3 years in banquets, I was promoted to the food and beverage outlets manager. So I then oversaw the Rimrock restaurant with 140 seats, the Oak Room Lounge with 80 seats, and in-room dining to 407 guest rooms. So as F&B manager, my role now changed to a department head, and it involved me in the bigger picture of the operation of the Palliser Hotel. I was now responsible for forecasting department revenues and expenses, setting service goals, dealing with human resources issues, the union, kitchen management, and collaborating with other departments. After 5 years in that role, which I enjoyed immensely, I felt the need to move on from the hotel industry. This was about the time the staffing crisis was starting to really be felt in Calgary, and the service industry in a hotel wasn't exactly as people weren't likely to work there as they were in some of the other industries in Calgary that were probably paying better. How's that? And the 24/7 constant hotel operation was beginning to become a bit of a work-life strain. It just never stopped, right? So the opportunity presented itself in equals MC squared through people I knew through the industry. It's a related industry, and equals MC squared did a lot of work at the Palliser at the time, so I knew of the company and the work that they did. At that time, it was a director of operations. The company was 3 years old and had 10 employees. And the focus of my role was to put some systems into place to support the event production team. They were fantastic at producing events. They needed support in recruiting staff, proper accounting procedures, health and safety, office administration. So it was my role to put those into place to support the team. So event management requires the coordination of many tasks, suppliers, and deadlines to meet the event as designed for the client's needs and objectives. The event team's main focus is one of extensive amount of review of detailing and logistical planning to ensure that events tasks are accomplished in time. A comprehensive project plan is created to ensure that deliverables are identified, responsibilities are clear, and deadlines are determined. The project plan is an essential communication tool and is reviewed daily by the event team and at each client checkpoint meeting. This critical path of sequential events ensures the right work gets done in the right amount of time in the right order. A production schedule is created for each event, detailing the loading dock schedule and the load-in time for each supplier, depending on the type of equipment and what order it needs to be placed in the room. The production schedule covers all the setup activities up to the time the event starts. When the event starts, when the doors are open, the event team then follows the show flow. This is a sequential listing of all the activities that need to happen to produce the guest experience. Meal service timing, event entertainment calls to the stage, audio, video, and lighting cues are all followed to ensure the correct timing. Then after the guests have departed and everyone's had a great time, the production schedule is back in effect. The suppliers are scheduled in reverse order to remove their equipment to ensure their safe work practices, efficiency of labor, and to prevent loading dock bottlenecks. So often people view events as it's just a party and that anyone can do it because they plan their parties at home. And yes, there's lots of parties that can be planned by lots of people that are fantastic. But at the end of the day, the reality of event management is that it's an extensive amount of logistical planning and attention to detail are the keys to a great event. So how I help support the event team is through my background with the hotels and understanding what happens in a hotel, and the logistics required for that. And as a department head in a hotel and being exposed to budgeting and very, very good corporate systems, thank you Fairmont, I had just a great background of training, on-the-job training. And so I'm able to take that into my role and understand what the team needs. So that was how I'm able to put some systems into place to support them, to again, to make things more efficient, not to necessarily control them too much. They need their creativity, they need their freedom, and sometimes they'll come to me and say, I need to make this work. And it's like, yeah, we do, because that's what's going to make this event fantastic. So I need to help figure out ways that will enable them to do their jobs, not hinder them. So that's a bit of what I do, and the glamour of the TIFF event, what you guys don't know is what the team went through to make that happen. The weather forecast the day before, or the week before, had been fantastic for the day of the event, and leading up to the event it was beautiful weather in Toronto, and the day before, this forecast, a couple days before, the forecast started to change and the storm rolled in. So the night before the event, when they should have been setting things up, they ended up batting down the hatches and putting everything away and leaving the barge alone, and kind of just leaving everything be to come back in the morning to just a solid mess of everything. And it was continued to rain throughout the day. So they set up and tore down that event, I think, 3 times. They moved it to an inside venue and then back out, and different changes, and would cover it with tarps, and they squeegeed that barge who knows how many times. But then an hour before it was supposed to happen, the weather started to break and the rain stopped, and they ended up putting it back outside. And as the guests were starting to walk down the gangway to the barge, they were putting the final touches on the event, and our event team, who's usually by now dressed in their dress blacks and can help greet events, are still in their work clothes, and just slogging out to the last minute. So there's a lot of work involved to make it happen, but it was a very, very cool event. We had a James Bond look-alike jump out of a helicopter into the Toronto Harbor, and there was a jet ski chase, and he got picked up and brought onto the barge. And if you do go on the website, there's a fantastic video, and it's pretty exciting, and we're very proud to be it. So I'm very proud to be part of the event industry. It's exciting. We have people come into our office in addition. We have pot-bellied pigs. We have fantastic violin players. It's never a dull day. And when they all get too much for me, I have the luxury of closing my door, working on my spreadsheets. So it all works out well. So there's a lot of different people that it takes to make things come together, and I'm just proud to be part of it. So thank you.